The release of Israeli hostages is a welcome turn of events, but one that comes at an agonizing price. In return for 33 innocent Israelis who were abducted from their beds as their dear ones were being massacred in front of their eyes, Israel will release 1,904 convicted criminals, including mass murderers with blood on their hands. No wonder Israelis are divided over this agreement, including among families of hostages. Some cabinet members have voted against the deal. Others have abstained. The dilemma is tragic. It requires a painful choice between the freedom of hostages and the safety of all citizens, and it involves wavering justice for mass murderers. It is for Israelis and for the government to make those painful decisions. Israel has sacrificed 840 soldiers in this long war started by Hamas. There have been major achievements in that war, including the crumbling of Iran's axis of aggression. But Hamas has not been fully defeated, and the Islamic Republic of Iran is still sowing violence while advancing its nuclear program. The war, in other words, is not over. Senior Hamas official Khalil al-Hayya said after the signing of the ceasefire that October 7 will forever live as a source of pride and that jihad will continue. Demonstrators in New York, London, and elsewhere have been calling for the continuation of the struggle against Israel. Jihadists and their allies will continue to kill Jews and to try and destroy Israel, and they will continue to fight Israel not only with weapons, but also via legal warfare or lawfare. In that struggle, Israel needs its allies in the free world. And this free world must understand that precisely because we are committed to international law, we must not let institutions established by democracies be hijacked and politicized by autocracies. We must defend basic international rules, but without being naive. The outrageous genocide case against Israel was submitted by South Africa to the International Court of Justice, or ICJ, when the court's president was Nawaf Salam. Salam is now Prime Minister designate of Lebanon, a country at war with Israel. While he was representing his country at the UN, Salam attacked Israel violently and relentlessly. The ICJ case against Israel was submitted by South Africa in December 2023. A few days later, South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa met publicly with Sudan's militia leader Mohamed Hamdan Dagalo, who is accused of genocide by the US government. But do not expect Ramaphosa and his Qatari backers to submit a genocide case against Dagalo at the ICJ. Should we really believe that the ICJ is impartial and that it does not mix law with politics? Same thing with the International Criminal Court, or ICC. Its head prosecutor, Karim Khan, issued arrest warrants against Israeli leaders without respecting the court's principle of complementarity, even though Israel is a democracy that fights while respecting international law. But Karim Khan just met in Syria with its new leader, Abu Muhammad al-Julani, who is a former al-Qaeda commander. As for Syria's former leader, Bashar Assad, he was able to flee his country without any arrest warrant from the ICC, despite his multiple war crimes and crimes against humanity. The ICC is also being manipulated by pro-Hezbollah and pro-Hamas organizations to harass and to arrest IDF soldiers and officers. Among them is the Hin Rajab Foundation. Earlier this month, it asked the ICC to issue an arrest warrant against IDF officer Ghassam Alian while he was in Italy. The Hin Rajab Foundation was founded by Diab Abu Jaja, a Lebanese pro-Hezbollah militant who lives in Belgium and who holds Belgian citizenship. While presenting himself as a civil rights activist, Diab Abu Jaja received military training from Hezbollah before moving to Belgium. He has praised Hezbollah and Hassan Nasrallah on many occasions. Back in 2006, he traveled to Lebanon to rejoin Hezbollah and fight Israel in the Second Lebanon War. Diab Abu Jaja has justified the October 7 massacres, and he has denied that Hamas committed atrocities on that day. His posts on social media are violently anti-Semitic. This is the man who is using the ICC supposedly in the name of justice. Let us not be fooled, and let us not confuse this travesty with international law. The struggle of the Jewish people and of the free world is far from being over. Lawfare is directed primarily at Israel, but it threatens all free and law-abiding nations. We call upon our European allies to be clear-sighted about the hijacking of international law by jihadists and to be on Israel's side as it goes through agonizing days.